Not going to lie, I feel pretty sad. The reason is we only have, I want to say, 5 more days where we can enter into these fantasy football drafts. What? We have tonight, which is Friday. We have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't know if we count Thursday. I think maybe Thursday we're not going to be doing drafts. Maybe we're just doing live Q&As. So we have like, I guess, 6 days where we can go ahead and we can draft fantasy football teams. And this is going to be the last live stream in which I'm drafting Best Ball Mania teams. If y'all don't know, Best Ball Mania is the largest fantasy football tournament on the planet. $25 buy-in, $2 million in first place, $15 million prize pool. It's very difficult to win it, of course. How you advance to the finals and how you ultimately win the tournament is you're going to draft against 11 other people. You got to be a top 2 scoring team to advance to the fantasy football playoff tournament, where week 15, you'll have to go up against 12 other people. If you beat them, you advance to week 16, where you go up against 15 other people. If you beat them, you advance to like a 500-person final. And then if you win that, you turn $25 into $2 million. Get second place, turn it into $1 million. Get third place, turn it into $500,000. Highest place I've ever finished in Best Ball Mania is 16th. I've won a couple underdog tournaments before, but I've never won this one. This one is the toughest. This one is the premier one. And this will be our last live stream that we do them, because you can only draft 150. I've drafted 147. This is my 148th. We're going to do 3 of them tonight. And then afterwards, we're going to be doing a bunch of the $5 underdog drafts. So the tournament I'd recommend if you wanted to get in like a last minute fantasy football draft, just have some fun. Again, they're best ball, so there's no time commitment whatsoever during the season. Best starting lineups automatically submitted for you at the end of every single week is going to be the puppy. That is a $5 buy-in. We're going to take CeeDee Lamb here. Lamb's an absolute auto lock now that, Micah Parsons traded away. And at the same time, we know that in underdog drafts, you have to really prioritize your receivers. But if you wanted to hop into a draft here, what I'd recommend you get in, if you've never done one of these underdog drafts, is this $5 puppy tournament. And it's $1 million prize pool, $5 buy-in. This will be the drafts that we are doing the rest of the way. We'll probably do another flock underdog tournament on Sunday night, but we're going to be getting in a lot of puppies. But let's go ahead and let's get this going. We have Mr. Trogs has hit that like button. Yes, if you have not done so already, go down there, drop a like on this live stream. And of course, hit the bell next to the subscribe button if you wanted to come out to these streams, because we will be live streaming every single day until Christmas. Once the season gets here, we're just going to be doing live fantasy football question and answer live streams. Okay. Let's see. McDowell says, joined the Flock League one. I've been waiting for like 20 minutes. Is there a Flock tournament on Underdog right now? I got a message from them. I didn't think that they were putting out the Flock tournament tonight. But let me see if there's a Flock tournament out there. And if so, we'll actually maybe save some of the BBM teams and we'll get in a Flock tournament. But no, I don't see a Flock tournament out there. So we're going to do the Best Ball Mania drafts tonight, and then we'll get in the puppy tournaments later. Okay. And we have AJ Brown off at 17. And one thing I need to point out as well, I know obviously a lot of y'all have gotten season passes to flockfantasy.com. I know a lot of y'all have been drafting with me on Underdog for years. And Underdog just agreed to do something really cool. If you have a 2025 flockfantasy.com season pass, or if you're an annual mother flocker, you can go ahead, fill out this Google form that's posted on flockfantasy.com in the post section. Just fill out your flockfantasy.com email address so I can confirm that you are a member of the site, and put in your Underdog username, hit submit, and we are going to get y'all set up with a free $10 in Underdog credit. I'm going to take Josh Jacobs over Ladd McConkey with the Micah Parsons trade. I think Dallas is going to have to throw a lot. I think the Packers are going to be able to run the ball a decent amount. But yeah, make sure you fill that out, because it's legitimately just a free $10. And that doesn't matter if you've been an annual mother flocker on flockfantasy.com for years. It doesn't matter if you've been on Underdog for years either. You should be able to get that free $10 regardless. I know there are a lot of other promos that we talk about that are only available for first-time people signing up on Underdog Fantasy, but that one's available even if you've been drafting with us forever. Okay, let's see. We have Amari Hampton off pick 25. And, I mean, we're in a pretty good spot, right? We don't need to stress about anything making it back. We are probably going to take an elite quarterback here. I think let's take Lamar Jackson and mix it up just a bit. If we're looking at the tier of players that are available here in round 3, I think it is a relatively flat tier. If we would have gotten like Ladd McConkey making it to us at 27, I'd have been excited to jam in Ladd, but here I'm fine taking the elite quarterback. And another thing is, I mean, I know that I'm talking about like there are additional promos that if you're not already on Underdog, if you're not already on Underdog, you can actually get $50 added in your account, but this is only for new people. If you join Underdog Fantasy, the link's in the description, comment section, live chat where it says draft with us here, and you use promo code FLOCK, after you play your first $5, you will actually get $50 added to your account. And on top of that, you'll get my 2025 Fantasy Football Draft Guide cheat sheets, which will be sent to the email address you signed up to Underdog Fantasy with. So definitely make sure you take advantage of that. That link's posted everywhere. And Underdog is doing a ridiculous amount of, and I know it seems like this is a crap ton, and it seems like maybe they always do this. They don't. It's week 1, like, Underdog always has the craziest promos. So, like, they just actually tweeted this out. I knew they were doing the Saquon Barkley one on Thursday night where it's a free gimme pick for Saquon Barkley, higher, lower, half a rushing yard. But on Thursday night, they're also doing a 50% profit boost. On Friday night, they're doing another 50% profit boost in the Chiefs-Chargers game. Saturday, they're doing a 100% profit boost. And then they're doing additional deals Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So it's probably the biggest week for Underdog promos of the year. At least that's how it was last year, and it's setting up to be that way this year. So definitely make sure you take advantage of that. Okay. And George Pickens off the board at 37. Alan says, Mason, who do you think will be the MVP for this season? Let me look at the MVP current odds, and I'll give you my favorite value. MVP odds, the lines. So I'm assuming Allen or Lamar is the favorite, right? But so Lamar is plus 550. Allen's plus 600. Burrow's plus 600. Mahomes is plus 700. Daniels is 10-1. Love is 20-1. Hurts is 20-1. Herbert 22-1. Stroud 25-1. Purdy 30-1. Baker 33-1. Caleb 40-1. Stafford 40-1. Dak 40-1. Goff 40-1. Lawrence 50-1. Kyler 55-1. May 60-1. Bo Nix 60-1. Barkley 60-1. Michael Penix 66-1. Rodgers 75, McCarthy 75, Cam Ward 100-1, Darnold 100, Gibbs 125, Derrick Henry 130, Geno 150, Chase 150. In terms of favorite values, like I'm not going to disagree. Lamar is maybe the overall favorite, but we can't take Hurts here. I think we're going to just go ahead and we're going to take Sutton, and if one of the running backs makes it to us at pick 51, we can take him. I would honestly rather have the running backs that are available here in your regular redraft league, but specifically Underdog best ball drafts. If you fall behind at wide receiver, since there's no waiver wire, you can kind of get screwed. But if I had to go for somebody that's outside like the top 2 with Lamar and Allen, I'd probably give Mahomes 7-1. I know people get super annoyed when I talk about that on the stream, but I think that you could see a big time bounce back for Mahomes with the passing volume in KC this year. I think that is in the range of outcomes. So Devonta Smith off the board at 49. Calvin Ridley goes 50. We're going to take Breece Hall. If you are looking at the overall landscape of Best Ball Mania tournaments, these drafts have been going on since April. Breece Hall was going at the 3-4 turn in the vast majority of them. So for us to take him at pick 51, it will be a unique combo in general in comparison to what a lot of other people were able to draft. But it looks like we had 100 likes on the stream. So go down and drop your flockfantasy.com username in the chats. And we will pick a random person to give some free vouchers to on flockfantasy.com. Okay. Egbuka goes 56. Travis Hunter off 57. Yeah, I don't know if I've drafted Egbuka once in the 5th round. If Egbuka crushes us this year, he does it. But I don't know if I've taken him in 2 weeks. Let's pick somebody random in the chat. We got Champion right here. Let me see if I can find you on the site. And if so, I'll hook you up some free vouchers, my friend. Rashee Rice off 58. So that team going with the 0 RB build is yet to take a running back in the first 5 rounds. Champion. I got you. It looks like you have the season pass. So let me send you over some additional vouchers because obviously got some free questions with that season pass. And another thing is, if you have the season pass, I don't know if you're already on, I'm sure maybe you're probably already on Underdog if you have the season pass. Make sure you go and fill out that Google form on the post page. That way we can get you set up with free $10 of Underdog credit. Okay. Now, RJ Harvey off the board at pick 61. Golden goes 62. So Matthew Golden obviously has been a big time riser. Matthew Golden is someone we've been drafting a bunch of just because mainly we were fading Jaden Reed early and we were taking Golden where Reed was going instead. And yeah, which looks pretty good. I mean, obviously I didn't know that Jaden Reed was going to get injured and we're going to have Jaden Reed falling like a rock in these drafts. Okay, Jerry Judy goes 64. Riley says, when should we see the free $10 on Underdog? So probably not for a couple weeks because it seems crazy because I know a lot of people like watch the live streams every single day, right? Which I really appreciate. But there is a section of people that don't really check in that often. And since Underdog agreed to give all the season pass people a free $10, I would rather make sure we take advantage of that and get everybody who has the season pass that free $10. We're going to take Kamara here at pick 70. Like, obviously we need a wide receiver, but I am not going to be able to pass on Kamara at pick 70. We have to take him. But I want to give everybody the chance to fill out that Google form. It's going to take me a while to make sure that people see the announcements. So we probably won't, because what I'm going to do is I will go sit down one weekend and I'm going to check all the flockfantasy.com email addresses that are on the Google form. I will confirm which accounts are eligible, like you have a season pass on flockfantasy.com or you're an annual mother flocker. Then I'll take the eligible accounts and I'm going to download the CSV of all the Underdog usernames and I'm going to send it over to Underdog. We're going to take Jacoby Myers. I mean, with Myers, I am not that excited about the current setup with him asking to get traded outside of Las Vegas. I mean, for it to be August 29th and for us to have a trade request, it's not looking too hot. But the fact of the matter is, like, Myers is one of those wide receivers going to be more impactful for your regular redraft league than, for your Underdog draft than he would be for your regular redraft league. Like, you're in a 2 wide receiver, 1 flex ESPN league. I have no idea how the hell he ever makes a difference for you. But here in an Underdog draft, I think he can. Okay. So let's see. Vinny says, Mason, I'm watching YouTube in the background on how to make a Damascus steel knife from 70 screws. Think that's a good skill to have in order to win BBM6? Okay, let me see. I don't even know what that means. Let me move this over so I can pull that up. Tyler Warren going back-to-back with Sam Laporta here. The Tyler Warren rise has been massive. If y'all remember early in the offseason, Tyler Warren was our most drafted player when he was going in round 10. Okay. Damascus steel knife. What is a Damascus steel knife? Okay, so it just looks like a regular kitchen knife, right? Making it from screws. Okay. I guess you can do it. Okay, you gotta send me a picture of that on Discord when you're done. How the hell does that work? Joe Darv says Sydney Sweeney or prime Jessica Alba Mason. Well, let me look up. Let me do some research. Here's the important stuff. Jessica Alba. All right. Yeah, Sydney, easily. Easily. No question. Next question. Move on. Travis Kelce goes 92. That's to the Mahomes team. We are still wanting a wide receiver if we can get one. Y'all know I'm not above taking Cooper Kupp. F me. We're going to take Bo Nix, pair him up with Cortland Sutton. God dang. I wanted Michael Pittman Jr. so bad. Tier, welcome to being Mother Flocker, my friend. I mean, a YouTube member. Andrew says, thoughts on the UT-OSU game tomorrow? Hook 'em, by the way. Hook 'em, Horns. I would love to sit here and say that I have the most confidence in my Texas Longhorns. I'd love to sit here and say that, oh, we are for sure going to win. Set it in stone. The fact of the matter is, I don't know anything about college football. I can name 5 Texas Longhorns on the team right now. I know that sports books have Ohio State favored by about 1.5, so it should be a close game. We are slight dogs. And I'm definitely hoping we win. But I was going to take Andrews on the way back around to pair him up with Lamar, but like I said, we're not above taking Cooper Kupp, and I'm definitely not above taking Chris Godwin. What do we do here? We're going to take Godwin. I think you look at our overall setup in Best Ball Mania specifically. Again, I outlined this tournament for y'all previously. This is a $25 buy-in, $2 million for first place, right? While I understand taking Cooper Kupp is going to make it a little bit less likely that we make it to the taking Chris Godwin's going to make it a little bit less likely that we make it to the fantasy football playoff tournament. Taking Chris Godwin is going to make it more likely that we win the fantasy football playoff tournament if we get there. So I'm willing to try to optimize for the final 3 weeks while sacrificing the projected points at the very beginning of the year. So we will go ahead and we will take Chris Godwin. Okay. This is a funny comment. Lou says Mason got that puppy in him. Yeah, and we're about to have some puppies getting drafted. Because again, I don't know if you saw that I only have 3 Best Ball Mania teams to draft left. Here's one of them. And then I'm going to do the 2 other in the live stream tonight. And then I'm going to be drafting the $5 puppies with y'all. Trey Harris says, what's your Godwin exposure? I feel like you get him often. I've definitely been drafting a ton of Godwin as of late. Because again, I'm willing to take the players that have overall expected lower advance rates, such as Chris Godwin, Brandon Ayuk, with the expectations that if they were to come back halfway through the year, well, maybe they have a lower advance rate. If they can give us that ceiling that we look for in weeks 15, 16, 17, I love them in the tournament style, especially large field contests like this. I have Chris Godwin in 10.8% of my drafts. So while yes, I think I took him in every single draft yesterday. While yes, I've been taking him a ton lately. We weren't drafting him that much early in the offseason. So we're slightly overweight Chris Godwin. A lot of those picks have been happening as of late when Chris Godwin's been a very reasonable price, and we're going to continue to take him. But again, I mean, by continue to take him, we only got 5 more days. Steelo said he's tired of drafting and needs the season to start. I'm kind of the opposite. Like, I could have another month of drafts. I have another month of drafts in me. I know that a lot of people were drafting underdog teams as early as like January. If y'all don't know, like, if anybody random's watching this, Underdog's like the biggest fantasy football draft platform ever. Like, there is a massive community of people who draft these teams. And a lot of them have been drafting these teams since January. Evan Ingram goes. I really wanted Evan Ingram to pair up with Bo Nix. It's the second time that team sniped us. We're going to go ahead and we're going to reach on Rashad Bateman, and we'll get Bateman in here to pair up with Lamar Jackson. But, yeah, Underdog's been dropping best ball tournaments since January for this season. I did not draft a single team January through... I started drafting my Underdog best ball teams right when Best Ball Mania opened. So right with the start of... right after the NFL draft. We're going to take David Njoku. David Njoku's been a faller because people are concerned about Harold Fannin. Fact of the matter is there's no clear wide receiver 2 in Cleveland. David Njoku's been good with Flacco under center. And I think here he outscores the wide receivers that are going behind him. But... yeah, so since I didn't start drafting the underdog teams until after the NFL draft, I have a lot of steam left in me. Like, I wish I could keep drafting these teams for another month. Nathan says, I got the season pass last night. I linked my league and I was trying to get a team review. Does that come with the season pass or do I need to be a mother flocker? No. So if you see what comes with the season pass, let me pull this up for you. It comes with the start, sit, and trade question vouchers. It does not come with the free team review. You'll see that the free team review comes with the annual Mother Flocker membership. The season pass gets you access to everything on the website, including all the updated weekly rankings, the rest of season rankings, draft guides, trade calculator, trade finder, my team's page, and the free vouchers for me to answer start, sit, and trade questions on the live streams this year. But the team reviews just take me too long to do them for, like, I just don't have enough time to do them for only $34, including everything else, to be honest. It's just I don't have enough time in the day. So the team review free vouchers, those come with the annual Mother Flocker membership. Okay. One pack says, sorry, kind of new to best ball, but it means you have no waiver wire and just play with your team that you draft only. Yeah, so after I do this draft, the team is completely locked. I can't make trades. I can't make waiver wire pickups. And I'm not even submitting my own starting lineup. So, like, as an example here, right? I draft like Courtland Sutton in round 4 and I draft Rashad Bateman in round 10. If Bateman has a random week where he has 100 receiving yards and a receiving touchdown and Courtland Sutton has a dud, Bateman will automatically move into my starting lineup. So that's how I draft hundreds of these teams. You may have heard me say it in the past. That's how I won $150,000 on Underdog back in the day. But there's no time commitment at all during the year. And that's why I always say it's not going to replace your main fantasy football league. I'm not going to tell you like, hey, don't do your ESPN draft with your friends. You should do these Underdog drafts instead. It's like, hey, do your draft with your friends, but also... if you really like drafting, you want to have some extra fun, Underdog's a pretty good spot to do it because there's no time commitment during the year. So it'd be nice for us to see Jared Goff off the board since we can't take him. ADP 120, and we are about to see pick 140 on the clock. I mean, 140 is on the clock now. But I have Lamar Jackson and Bo Nix. So when you go with two quarterbacks and picks 27 and 94, we're not going to take another QB. Hunter Henry off. Let's see. What is this team doing? They go Brian Robinson. I was going to take Robinson if he fell. We will pivot over and we'll go with Trey Benson. I think both Brian Robinson, Trey Benson in this range, they're both pretty much just premium handcuff backs. I honestly think Benson may have I'm a better shot at giving you weekly a random usable week during the season. And I don't know if I've seen Jared Goff fall this far all offseason. Andrew says, how many BBM drafts do you expect to complete in total? I am going to officially max Best Ball Mania. I believe this is my third year straight maxing Best Ball Mania, which means drafting 150 teams. And I've only made the finals twice. It's extremely difficult. Funny enough, making the finals twice out of drafting 450 teams or 300 teams before this. It's still like an incredible finals rate, but it just speaks for how hard it is. We're going to take Hollywood Brown. Hopefully Hollywood can give us some usable weeks at the beginning of the season with the Rashee Rice suspension, specifically because we are sitting with the Godwin absence through the first 5 weeks of the year. Latord says, what's the odds of winning an underdog draft without an elite top 4 to 5 quarterback? So the year I got 16th place in Best Ball Mania, the quarterbacks I did it with were Kirk Cousins and Daniel Jones. The team that won Best Ball Mania last year did it with Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow last year was not getting drafted as an elite quarterback. So I'm not going to tell you should not draft the elite quarterbacks. I'm not going to tell you that blah, blah, blah. But you don't need one. There are teams I draft where I have no elite quarterback, and there are teams I draft where I do have one. Okay, Tyler Algier off at 155. And I know we made the announcement in the other live stream, and maybe we said this earlier as well, or maybe you saw it when we showed the post page on the website. But if y'all have any drafts this weekend and you got the season pass to the site this year, you should see that I've updated the 2025 flock draft sheets. I was up extremely late last night, up very early this morning to get that done for y'all. It's done. Thank God I don't have to worry about that again. And they're posted on the site now. And if you had used code FLOCK on Underdog, we had sent those emails out to you earlier today. If you use code FLOCK on Underdog and made that first $10 deposit in 2025. You should have gotten that email address. You should have got that to the email address you signed up to Underdog Fantasy with. Okay. Jimmy says, is there a way we can look at past winners on Underdog? I am sure. I wonder if you can just look it up on Google. So the team that won last year, out of the 18 players they drafted, 6 of them were Bengals. They had Burrow, Chase, Higgins, Chase Brown, Mike Gesicki, and Jermaine Burton. We'll take Chubb. Sure. Chubb's complete dust. Dust in the wind. But he looks like he's going to be a starting running back week 1. And the hope that you have if you're drafting Nick Chubb is not that he turns out to be some top 10 running back in fantasy. The hope in drafting Nick Chubb is he turns into Kareem Hunt from last season. Okay. Cam Ward goes 167. I think we're probably done drafting running backs and quarterbacks at this point. We're only wide receiver and tight end. Najee Harris goes 169. Good for us. And what are we going to get at this point? I like our team. Not going to tell you it's the best team I've ever drafted, but I think it's pretty good. We'll take Chig as our second tight end. So here's the squad. Running back, we have Josh Jacobs, Breece Hall, Alvin Kamara, Trey Benson, Nick Chubb. Quarterback, we have Lamar Jackson stacked with Rashad Bateman. We have Bo Nix stacked with Cortland Sutton. Wide receiver, we have CeeDee Lamb, Cortland Sutton, Jacoby Myers, Chris Godwin, Rashad Bateman, Hollywood Brown. Tight end, we have David Njoku and Chig. And we are going to be taking 3 more players, one of which will be a tight end, one of which will be a wide receiver. And the last one will probably be another receiver, but I'm not going to guarantee it for a 100% fact. There's a chance that I try to convince myself that we can get ourselves another running back. Okay, Bug says, where do you rank Jacobs after everything that's happened? I have Josh Jacobs as my RB8 this year. Okay. Alec goes 176. So obviously Restrepo was... I don't know if y'all saw. Did y'all see that Underdog signed Skip Bayless? But crazy. Kate Otten goes 180. But if you actually look at Josh Jacobs at the end of last year, Josh Jacobs in the final 9 weeks of the season averaged like 20.2 points per game, and he was the RB4. And this is clearly a team that's going to be able to run the ball consistently. Vinny just sent us the knife video. This looks crazy, my guy. I'm skipping through this. Are you doing this? If you are doing that, that is insane. Okay, so we're going to get a third tight end. Harold Fannin going ahead of Jonnu Smith is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I would very easily take Harold Fannin there. We're going to take Pat Bryant. We have Bo Nix. We need another wide receiver. Stupid, simple stack. Falls 14 picks in ADP. We'll run it. And it looks like we had 200 likes on the stream. So, 1, if you haven't already, hit the like button. And 2, make sure you drop your flockfantasy.com username in the chat right now, and we'll pick somebody to give a couple free vouchers to. Okay, Tyler Lockett goes 191. Gesicki 192. Jatavion Sanders off. We need another tight end. We don't necessarily need to take him here, though. Honestly, F it. Do we go Troy Franklin? Let's do it. Franklin wasn't drafted in the vast majority of these underdog drafts, and we can have the full-blown Denver Broncos onslaught, and we can go, what if Bo Nix is top 3 in the NFL in passing yards and passing touchdowns? It's probably unlikely, but it's also very unlikely I turned $25 into $2 million. So we'll play the what if game. And let's go ahead and let's pick somebody in the chat. We got Scuffed. Okay, let's see if I can find you on the site, my friend. And if not, we'll pick somebody else in the chat. Scuffed. All right, I got you. It looks like there are 2 accounts called Scuffed. So we're going to set up one of them with the free trade and free start set. And hopefully it's yours, my friend. But here we go. Just sent that first voucher over and sending the second over now. But let's move this over. And we need a tight end with our last pick. I honestly kind of expected Daniel Jones to be a little bit of a... I expected him to rise more with him being the starting quarterback for Indianapolis. I thought you would get a little bit of a bigger jump. And then we are going to get in another underdog draft after this. We're going to do a couple more drafts tonight. We're going to be doing the BBM drafts. And I forgot to show y'all too, but I know I showed y'all yesterday. Let me see if I can still find the screenshot of it. Maybe a little bit tough, but we'll look for it real quick. Alec Pierce goes. So this is it. Underdog agreed to let me. Underdog's been doing a bunch for me lately, honestly. one, they agreed to let me give y'all 10. Well, they are giving y'all $10 if y'all have a season pass. But two, they agreed to actually let me host some boosted pick'em packs in the app, which I was really excited about. And this is what we're going with. I'll be talking about this a bunch once we get closer to the game. But we're going with Dak to have 230 passing yards. They lowered that yardage mark down for us. Saquon Barkley to score a touchdown, and George Pickens to have fewer than 5 receptions. And if this hits, it'll be a 5X. So super excited about that. And we are going to be taking a tight ends. And I don't know, there's a chance because, again, they are giving a 50% profit boost token as well. We're going to take Terrence Ferguson here for sure. We have a couple of the old dusty tight ends, so we can get a younger, exciting player. Terrence Ferguson isn't getting drafted very often anymore. But what's it called? Underdog, since they're doing all the other like special pick'em promos, I know I tried like attaching the free Saquon Barkley pick, like higher than half a rushing yard that they're doing on Thursday, to this to try to make it a 10X. It didn't work. They wouldn't let me do it. But I wonder if you could do the 50% profit boost on the pack. Ethan says, when can I expect to get my $10 credit for filling out the annual Mother Flocker form for Underdog? It's probably going to be a couple of weeks just because I want to make sure that people have the time to fill that form out. And I'm only going to send over Underdog the list of usernames to a credit with $10 once. I'm not going to be able to bother them with it like every day. So I'm going to wait a couple weeks and then send it to them all at one time. Okay, so Jamar Chase goes at pick 1. Gibbs goes 2. Bijan goes 3. I'm surprised that Bijan hasn't been really falling here at all. CeeDee Lamb goes 4. We will take Barkley. I'm going to be riding with Barkley this year. Frank says, hey, what draft sheet do I use out of the 50 for the 12-team PPR Start 9 league? I would use the 12-team PPR Start 8 sheet. And you're going to want to be moving the skill position guys up from that sheet. And you're going to be wanting to move the quarterbacks and tight ends down. Slayman says, is what $10 credit? I'll just say this one more time. I know I bother people with this a bunch. But if you got the season pass on flockfantasy.com or you're an annual Mother Flocker, you can go ahead and fill out this little Google form on the post page. Just give me your flockfantasy.com email address so I can confirm that you are a paid member of the site, and then put your Underdog username there. And we are going to be sending those Underdog usernames of the confirmed paid users of the site to Underdog to credit with the free $10 into their Underdog account. Trey says, are you maxing BBM tonight or saving it for tomorrow? After this, it's your last one. I think I'm going to be maxing BBM tonight, to be honest. Kyle says, Mason, I'm getting an error code when syncing my ESPN league with the site. It says I need credentials. Any advice? You do need credentials. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's a pain in the butt. So we have made it as easy as possible to link your team with flockfantasy.com. Go to the league, manage, and you can hit add new. Sleeper is incredibly easy. You just copy and paste your league ID and it loads everything. Yahoo's incredibly easy. They've even worked with us. They just gave us unlimited API access. So this is great. You hit submit, takes you to Yahoo, you log in, they send us all your leagues. It works great. ESPN's a pain in the butt. ESPN, you need credentials for the private leagues, and all y'all play in private leagues. Chase Brown off the board. I will take Josh Jacobs. So if you are wanting to link an ESPN league, which I would very much encourage you to, it's free on the site, and at the same time, It's really just going to give you so much valuable insight, especially with your waiver wire specifically. But you're going to have to do it with the computer. The other ones you can do on your phone relatively easily. ESPN, you have to do on the computer. I would recommend Google Chrome. And the reason you have to do it on the computer is you have to add an extension. And the extension is what pulls your credentials and essentially sign in on one window on ESPN, sign in on another window on flockfantasy.com, hit get extension, hit the sync button. It'll pull your credentials in ESPN into the site, and then you'll be good. Your league will upload on flockfantasy.com. Everything will automatically update for it, and you'll never have to do it again. You can access it on your phone any point into the future. You can delete the extension right after. You just have to link it once, and then you're good forever. But it is a little bit of a pain in the butt. Casey says, does London fall because of the tackle? So London's been one of the biggest risers in drafts over the past few weeks, and I think his situation's only gotten worse. Like here, you see London go at 13. So for me, I see the Atlanta Falcons offensive line go from projected out as a top 10 unit to now a below average unit because of the right tackle going down. And I'm not saying that we're going to take Tyreek. I mean, here, ultimately, we just need to play catch up at wide receiver. And I'm not saying that because I know, I'm an offensive line expert. I would never claim to be that. But I can see what offensive line experts are telling us, and that's what they're saying. And then I can go and look at sports books, and I can see what they're putting out as well. And they previously had the Atlanta Falcons as a decent little football team, not a super high scoring offense, but still not bad. And we go ahead and we look at how they project them currently. This is weeks 1 through 14 with their implied team totals. Right now, the only offenses they project outscore are the Raiders, the Titans, the Jets, the Giants, the Browns, and the Saints. So the overall offensive projections got a hell of a lot worse for Atlanta. So for me, it happened. I moved Bijan down from my RB1 to my RB3. Nobody else seems to care. Drake London, I'm not going to move him down. I don't have him going at 13 in my rankings, though. Maybe I moved him down behind some of the running backs in round 2, but I'm not going to move him behind any of the receivers that were already behind him. So I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. But in my opinion, again, I'm going to just default to admitting I'm not an offensive line expert. But I can kind of look at what the sports books are putting out. I can look at what the people are putting out that know stuff about offensive lines. That's probably not ideal. Okay, Jaden Daniels off at 40. Y'all saw me take the elite quarterback over Tyreek Hill in the last draft. The difference is we did not go running back in the last draft. In the last draft, we took CeeDee Lamb in the first round, so it gave us a little more flexibility. This team doesn't have a wide receiver yet, so I'd be surprised if they did anything but a receiver. There you go, Terry. I'm going to take George Pickens. Pickens used to go in round 5 of every underdog draft. I wasn't drafting him very often. He's now risen to where he's going at the beginning of round 4 in a lot of these. It looks like the Dallas Cowboys are maybe going to have to throw the ball more with the Micah Parsons trade. So trust me, I wish I would have just drafted him when he was cheaper, when he was going in round 5. I don't like paying a higher price tag now, but I think it's going to be okay. Okay, Jameson goes immediately after. Joe Burrow goes to the Higgins team there at 46. So the Higgins team's not wanting to mess around, not wanting to give the Chase team an opportunity to take him. Sutton off 47. Brees goes 48. Assuming we get, yeah, I was going to say, I'm assuming we get Kenneth Walker. I don't know if those are 2 auto picks. They could have been. Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter had been falling. I've actually taken him in some slow drafts in round 6 today. I'll take Metcalf. Who cares? We're just continuing to play catch up at wide receiver. So now we have Jacobs, Barkley, Tyreek, Pickens, DK Metcalf. Kyle says, got to figure it out. I saw the extension earlier. It had no luck with the credentials, so I deleted the extension from Chrome. Tried again. Now it works. Technology makes no sense sometimes. So one thing that I've seen people struggling with, and I'm not saying you were doing this, but possibly, is so there's like a sync button on the page, and then there's like a photo of the sync button that the developers put to say like, hey, look for this and press that. And some people have tried pressing the photo. Also, there's a chance if you're not logged into ESPN, it may not work then. But can y'all please let me know in the chat right now? This would give me a big like insight on how much of an issue this is and how much help that, like how much effort I need to do. Can you let me know? Have you linked an ESPN team with flockfantasy.com? Or have you tried to link an ESPN team with flockfantasy.com and failed and quit? If you could let me know those one of 2 outcomes and I could kind of get a gauge in the chat, that would be very helpful. Will says he linked his. Chris says, yes, it took him 1 minute to do it. 1 minute. Okay. Billy says, yes, it was easy. Monk says, yes, it went well. Sword did it last year. It's pretty smooth. Okay. Yes, link 2 leagues. Okay. So it looks like we only got one. We got 2 people that tried and quit, and we got about 15, 20 people that have been able to do it. We got a third person who's tried and quit. So we got about like 20 people in the chat that have done it. 3 people have tried and quit. It's not a horrible rate. I'd assume the people hanging out with us in the live stream, though, y'all are probably a little bit more willing to try harder than like a casual person that maybe just watching the videos. Kamara falls to 67. Did something happen with Kamara today? We're going to take Stephon Diggs. We're going to continue to play catch up at wide receiver. Regular redraft league. Like I have Diggs in the flock league. I would trade him for Pollard. But. Okay. Funny says it was easy. I had to try it once or twice, but sync 4 of my leagues after the first. Okay. Good to know. But, yeah, ESPN's definitely the most difficult out of them just because Sleeper, it's super easy. You literally just got to copy and paste the league ID. And obviously we have no say in how those platforms allow us to do it. Right. Yahoo's super easy. Yahoo was a pain in the butt because Yahoo, like their default is to block, like where you only get like to hit their API like 150 times every 5 minutes or whatever it is. And like every time somebody loads a Yahoo league, we hit their API because I think that's what it's called. That's what the developers tell me. Because we need to pull all the like the latest information for your league, right? So if there was like a trade or if there was a waiver wire move, we kind of have to know that. So we pulled the most updated version. So like we would hit the 150 way more often than every 5 minutes. So like Yahoo would eventually block us. We'll take Aaron Jones over Jacoby and Jennings. I mean, both wide receivers have reasons why they are falling. And like Jaden Reed's falling too. I've gotten Jaden Reed to like pick 92 in some of the drafts today. But Yahoo got back to us, and I think I said that they uncapped our like access, which is awesome. And of course, thank you, Yahoo, for doing that. Because we were having to like do something where we were trying to like go like, oh, okay, I guess we can cache these leagues, we can save them, and we can just update them once a day. So whenever we pull them, they won't be the most up to date, but they'll be mainly up to date. And then we let the user go in the settings and hit refresh if they need to, blah, blah, blah. We're having to try to come up with all these different workarounds. And Yahoo just got back to us and went like, okay, we'll give you unlimited access, which is awesome. Matt telling me to oil up. I'm already oiled up, baby. Vincent says, Mason, if I'm playing in a no tight end double flex league, where do Bowers and McBride fall, or should I just avoid all tight ends? In terms of Bowers, I would be pushing him down to the Mike Evans range of wide receivers, like Mike Evans, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. Trey McBride, I'd be pushing him down to the Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, Xavier Worthy range of receivers. George Kittle, I'd be pushing him down to the Cortland Sutton range of wide receivers. The kind of where we took DK Metcalf, Devonta Smith. Like, I'd rather Devonta Smith over George Kittle if you don't have to play a tight end. Maybe we'd even push Kittle further beyond that. Maybe he goes down to like the Olave range. And then no other tight ends I would consider drafting other than the big three. Rise Rad says, Kamara fell a bit of my home league tonight too. Brees slid all the way to the 6th as well. I know what's going on with Brees, but can someone let me know if there's something that's happened with Kamara? Can y'all please let me know? Shakir goes 89. Shakir's been falling due to the ankle. Keon's been rising. Okay, and again, like I said, we were kind of expecting the shot to get Jaden Reed. I'm actually not even going to take Jaden Reed. We're going to take TJ Hawkinson instead. I think Hawkinson can outscore Reed, and Hawkinson's healthy. And at the same time, we have Aaron Jones, so we can set ourselves up with a McCarthy double stack. Okay. People saying that nothing's changed with Kamara. Like, obviously, the Saints are absolute garbage, but we've known that with Kamara all along. Like, if the Saints were a good offense, Kamara would be a round 2 pick. Somebody says, everyone is realizing his quarterback, Spencer Rattler. Well, I'll do it to you. So after we pass on Jaden Reed, he does eventually go off the board to pick 93 in this draft. Somebody says, how many streams are we going to get when the season starts? I will be live streaming every single day. I'm going to be live streaming more during this season than I am now. And the reason being is I thought it was a good idea to give away multiple free vouchers to people every time they purchased a season pass with code FLOCK. So I have a ridiculous amount of people waiting to have me answer free questions. I'm going to have to take Dak Prescott here. Nobody else is that exciting outside of Godwin. Could go Godwin, but we don't have a quarterback yet, and Dak does stack with Pickens for us. So, bunch of people got season passes with code FLOCK, which obviously much love. Really do appreciate y'all. Y'all allow me to do a bunch of cool things. One, everything we're doing with the Flock League. We hired a full-time editor just for that channel and absolutely loving it. Two, I'm having car problems. May end up buying a new car. And we have the cash to do it with the season passes. But it means I'm going to be live streaming very, 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 very often. So, I mean, we're going to be live streaming every single day. I'll probably be live streaming for 4 or 5 hours a day answering questions. Now, Fratrick says we hit 300 likes on the stream. So please go down there, and if we hit 300 likes, drop your flockfantasy.com username, and I will get y'all set up with some free vouchers to ask us questions in live streams. So Loveland goes 107. Let me pull up that page real quick so we can get ready. Luther Birding goes 109. Okay, let's find somebody random to get one. Let's go ahead. Let's do Robert Van Naten. Says Graham Naten. Let's see if I can find you, my friend. Graham Okay. I don't know if you use code FLOCK on flockfantasy.com. If you didn't use code FLOCK, I can't pull you up, my friend. Here is this Dave McCoy. Okay, I found Dave McCoy 21. You will get set up with those free questions. Perfect. Got you pulled up. Looks like you have a free account, so shouldn't have had any free vouchers yet, but we're going to add them right this second. David Njoku goes. Let's pick up our new player. Drake May. We have Stephon Diggs. Drake May falls a couple picks past ADP. We can go ahead and take him. Knowing that we get Drake May here at 116, it kind of makes me wish that we would have taken Godwin in the last round. But here, we'll set you up with those free vouchers. There's a free trade, and we'll get you sent over a free start set as well. And we'll do another giveaway at 400 likes. So make sure you go down there and drop a like. Chris says, how many vouchers come with the season pass and Mother Flocker? It's for the season pass, you get 1 free start sit, 1 free trade. With the Mother Flocker, you get 1 free start sit, 1 free trade, and 1 free team review. The main difference, obviously, just being the team review. What we're going to do that will be different next year, I've already talked to the developers about this. We're going to make like flexible vouchers where next year, instead of getting like 1 free trade, 1 free start sit, you can just get like 2 vouchers and you can use them for either or. That way, if you play in like a league where people don't really trade and you just make start sit decisions, you can just use them for that. Okay. Let's see. Chris says, is Mother Flocker 365 days or until 2026? The annual Mother Flocker gets you access to the site 365 days a year. The season passes until January 1st, 2026. I'm honestly going to take McCarthy. I don't love taking 3 quarterbacks this early the way that we did. Like, obviously, you would never do this in your regular redraft league. But even in underdog drafts, I don't know if going quarterback at 101, 116, 125 is too much here with these QBs. It probably is. But we'll try it. We'll mix it up a bit. And then, obviously, there's no way in hell we can take another quarterback through the rest of this draft. Vinny says, kind of bittersweet when the regular season starts. 723 drafts, and I feel like half of them were against you. They definitely were, my friend. They definitely were. Mr. Squirrel says, what if you could combine 2 vouchers for a team review? The thing is, each team review takes me about 5 to 10 minutes, and a start set question takes me about 45 seconds. So, like, 1 team review, I can answer realistically about 10 start set questions. Which is why it's like, probably it's too expensive for a team review. Like, if I were you, I would not buy a team review. But it's like, I just don't have enough time. Like, if we were to make them $20, then I'd run out of time in a day. You know what I mean? I'm already kind of running out of time. So, like, I would never recommend someone to, like, go out there and buy a full price team review. If you play in a bunch of fantasy football leagues, I think an annual subscription to the site is worth it. You get a free team review that way. Like that, I'm very confident in promoting, and I think we're providing more than enough value there. Lou says, I would love 1 team review versus 1 starts at 1 trade. No one wants to trade in my leagues. Yeah, the thing is that, again, the team reviews just take way too long. It just simply couldn't do the team reviews. Okay. Let's move this over. And we can't take another quarterback clearly in this draft. We could go Goddard and call it a day at tight end. Running back, we're so strong. I think we can just take 2 dud running backs at the end. So we're going to take Dallas Goedert, and we won't draft another tight end. Chris says, maybe you could do only 1 voucher every 100 likes, but once you hit 500 or 1,000 for a team review. We are going to see. I live streamed for. This is not just that. Like, I know, like, video game live streamers, they just live stream, but we do a bunch more stuff. Like, I run out of time in the day. For the past 4 days on YouTube. That's 5 hours. That's another 5 hours. That's 6 hours. We're averaging like 5 to 6 hours streaming every single day. Answering as many questions as I possibly can get to. And I'm still falling behind on questions. I still have team reviews I have to get to from 3 days ago. For everything I do, it's hard for me to stream more than 5 to 6 hours in a day. I'm already working today, maybe. The only free time I got today is I went on a 45-minute run and I ate dinner with a girlfriend. I woke up, came into the office, started working immediately in the morning. I was up until 2 a.m. at this desk last night. And I'm going to be up until like midnight here tonight. So it's just like, I would love to do more team reviews than I could. I mean, then I can, but I just simply can't. There's no alternative. We'll take Hollywood Brown. Again, I think Hollywood gets a bump up with the Rice suspension. The issue is Hollywood's been a wide receiver that is forever injured. And for him to be dealing with an injury in training camp, it's not even great. Chris says, how long did the draft sheets take you last night? I was up until 2 last night. Then I had to throw in the towel, go to bed. Then I probably started working on them again at like 7:30. Had a meeting with the devs and the website designer at 9. It was 10 a.m. Eastern, so 9 here. Was in that meeting. Then I had to deal with sales tax stuff. Had to be on the phone with the state of Illinois for a bit. Then I worked on the draft sheets again until I got the update on the site posted and got the update out there posted on the site. So let me see. When did I post the announcement that the sheets were done? At about 1 p.m. So again, I'm sorry. I promise you I'm trying to do as much as I possibly can. But I just run out of time in a day. I can't do more free team review vouchers. Trevor says, for ESPN leagues, for the credentials, there's a puzzle piece near the search bar. You can pull up your extensions there. Okay, maybe that helps people. Thank you, my friend. Robert says, is it the busiest time of the year for you? Yes, sir. This is definitely the busiest time of the year for me. It will be this busy, though. Well, I mean, next week's going to truly be the busiest time of the year for me. It sucks seeing like Cam Ward here. I would have just preferred to have all the quarterbacks off by this point. Trey Harris goes. So obviously, Damari Douglas would be in play for us when we have Drake May. But Damari Douglas goes. So I'm going to take a wide receiver that's like top 5 in my entry fees this year. Xavier Legette. But I think he's a fine pick, especially with the Thielen trade. I think it's only better. Mac and Axes, are the free vouchers going to continue into the season? I'm just going to have to be flexible with it. This is the first year we've ever done the season pass, and I've given out so many free vouchers, right? So I don't know how many people are going to be claiming them early. So what I think I'll probably do to be safe for week 1 is we'll probably do like the free giveaways at every 100 likes, but instead of doing a free start sit and trade voucher, it'll probably be one or the other. I'm not a big Torrey Horton guy, but at least you can say that he wasn't drafted through the entire tournament here. So I'll at least be a somewhat more unique pick. But what I'll probably do for the free giveaways week 1 of the season, when I think it's going to be busier next week than it is right now for sure. And again, I'm not complaining whatsoever, right? Let's get it clear here. Like, me being busy is good. When you own, I'm sure anybody knows this. If you own your own business, being busy is a good sign. If you're have nothing going on, that's much, much worse. This is a good quote unquote problem to have. But we'll probably next week, just to be it safe, because I need to make sure the people who bought those season passes that have the free vouchers, they obviously get priority. I'll probably still do the free giveaways every 100 likes, but it'll just be either one free voucher for start sit or one free voucher for trade. And yes, this is very much champagne problems. Like, this is absolute best case scenario here that I'm complaining that we have given out too many vouchers. Raul says he has so much Leggett, it's insane. He has a lot of Carolina, actually. So I have a ridiculous amount of Leggett. I don't have a ton of Coker. I've definitely been trying to push Jalen Coker up more now that we have everything playing out the way that it has in Carolina. Howard says, I just bought a team review. How do I refund that and just upgrade my membership for the free one? If you, the best way to do it realistically is to send a message in the site issues section of the Discord, and the developers will be happy to help you out. So yeah, send the, Amari Cooper goes 186. LK Manor. If you submit a ticket, somebody can help you. So we got 3 picks left. 2 of them need to be running backs. We can take Chris Rodriguez. Very similar to what we said with Torrey Horton. The reason I like taking Chris Rodriguez here in BBM is these drafts have been happening since April. The vast majority of them, Chris Rodriguez will not have been drafted in. So I'm just trying to get players that the rest of the field are going to be low owned to, that actually can project out to have a role this year, which Chris Rodriguez can. Okay. Trey says my 21% bill is looking phenomenal. If you truly do have 21% bill, that is incredible. Chris says, is Jalen Coker a must pick up in a 16-team league? I would add your league to the My Teams page and see where he stacks up in the waiver wire rankings in comparison to who you have on the bottom end of your bench. It is definitely dependent on your exact league. I can't tell you for sure. I don't know who you'd cut. Damien Brown goes 196. Let's see. Running back and receiver, who we're going to take. I don't want Malik Washington. We can go Alec Pierce. Let's be our wide receiver 8, and then we'll take some random running back 5. And let's just go ahead and queue up that running back. I like me some Justice Hill. I like me some Miles Sanders. You can sue me over it. Mix in some Blake Corum. Kyle Monangai. I've already taken too much Kareem Hunt. Mix in some Jarquez Hunter. I haven't taken him at all. Mix in some Emmanuel Wilson. I think Condre Miller's playing over Devin Neal, right? And then we'll go Dameon Pierce too. We'll just make sure that we get ourselves one of these running backs. And then let's hop into another draft. Okay, so let's move this over. Teresa says, I submitted a ticket today and the devs answered me within an hour. Super happy to hear that. I will say this time of year, realistically, like I don't want that to be the expectations that people have. If you submit a ticket in the site issue section, the devs will definitely try to get to it within an hour, but they are working like crazy on other things on the site. And we've just had more people join the site this month than any month that we've seen ever by far. So the devs are absolutely swamped. Like the side issue section's popping with people trying to get help with stuff. So it'd be I hope the devs get back to y'all within the hour, but it may take a little bit longer. So just give them a little time. But we got Brett says, pleasure to be in your last Best Ball Mania draft this year. Pleasure to have you. It's honestly sad. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm at least happy that we are able to max it. I know I've said that we've maxed it every year for the past 3 years. There's a little voice in the back of my head that says that's not true because I feel like one of those years we were planning on maxing it and then draft like 140 teams. And then it just filled up way quicker than I was expecting. But we'll go with it. CD says, when's the next flock lead coming out? Probably not for a while, to be honest. Monk says, don't be sad it's over. Be happy it happened. Well, we'll be getting into more of the underdog drafts leading up until kickoff. We'll be doing more of like the $5 puppy drafts. We just won't be doing the $25 BBM. And Vinny is in this one with us as well. Hal says, do you do any high stakes drafts? Yes, we actually did a ton of $500 drafts this year on Underdog. I did more $500 drafts this year on Underdog than I've ever done. And I don't think it's close either. And we are going to get into one more $1,000 draft. I think we did, have we done one or $2,000 drafts on the live stream? I think we've done one $1,000 draft on the stream this year, and we're going to get in one more on Sunday. So Nico Collins goes at 9. Pick 12, 13. I wouldn't mind at all, like a Puka Nacua and Ashton Genty combo. Blake Neighbors goes 10, so it looks like that's possible for sure. What is Dong Donatelli doing? He goes, we're going to take Genty for sure. What do we want to do outside that? We can go Brian Thomas. No way in hell I'm taking London over Brian Thomas. I mean, if you want to, I'm not going to fault you for it. But Brian Thomas is a rookie, just posted a better year than Drake London's ever had. So I don't know why that would happen. Okay. D. McCoy says Puka's his wide receiver 3 this year. Before the Stafford stuff, I heard the FSE guys making that argument too. I think that on the site, they had Puka ranked as their wide receiver 3. Chris says, yes, the Falcons O-line went from top 10 to bottom half. No Cap, welcome to being a YouTube member. Lou says, what I don't get is how Mason doesn't get up to go take a leak. Must be so. Okay, so this is definitely going to be TMI. But I used to have a peeing problem, or I would have to go pee all the time. All the time. And I thought like I just had a bad bladder. I thought that like something was wrong with me. But it turned out that I work out a lot, to be fair. And I didn't think that electrolytes were real. Like, I didn't think that like you actually needed salt in you if you worked out a bunch. I thought it was just kind of like all marketing. So I always had too little salt in me. But now I fixed it where after I work out, I get some salt in me and my peeing problem has been fixed. And I distinctly remember like in high school, like senior year, playing tennis tournaments in San Antonio, Texas. So it's 100 degrees outside, right? And just being on the pavement, running around for hours at a time. So you can, and with it being 100 degrees and no shade, it's a tennis court. So you can imagine how much you're sweating. And me being dumb and thinking that electrolytes were fake, just marketing tactics to get people to buy sugar water. And like, so I'm chugging water and like having to pee constantly because I have no salt to hold the water in, and being so embarrassed that like I just went pee like 15 minutes before and I got to tell the person I'm playing that I got to pee again. And like distinctly remember like going like, I can't tell him right now. I got to hold it in as long as I can because it's too embarrassing. But we've figured it out. I've gotten some salt in me. And now I can sit here and stream like 3 hours at a time. without having to go. But Twerk for Dog Bell says, do you at least drink pickle juice? No. I just do the boring, like, overpriced electrolyte packets. George Kittle goes 33. Marion Hampton 34. Hampton falls pretty far in this. What is this Donganatelli gonna do? Goes Adams. I'll take Garrett Wilson. Honestly, F it. We're gonna take Kyron Williams too. Like, Kyron obviously has been a faller with the report coming out that Blake Corum's gonna split the backfield. But if you remember the report that came out last year they were telling us Kyron Williams is gonna return punts, and everybody was concerned, and he still turned out to be the number 1 running back in the league with his snap rate. So we'll go with him. Yeah, here's my go-to now for like working out stuff. And y'all know last year I did an Ironman. This year I did the 100-mile ultra marathon. And like what I'm going to get into now, I do just enjoy running so much more than doing the bike and swim. And I'm pretty damn good at the ultra marathon stuff. At least in comparison to the Ironman stuff. Like my first ever ultra marathon, I got 3rd in it. And then the 100-miler, I got like 3rd in my age group. Not that many people did it. It's not that impressive, but still. I was able to do it the first time I did it. So I've been really getting into running. And I'm going to try to be good at it. So I've been taking like the nutrition stuff seriously. So what I've been doing lately is filling up like, this size water bottle, right? So this is like 750 milliliters. And they're all the same. Like all the nutrition little packs, it's just sugar and salt. Putting a pack in there that has 320 calories, which is 80 grams of carbs. And then doing a little scoop of sodium too, which it has like 1,000 milligrams of sodium. And then I do 7 miles in the little loop around the lake, mainly staying in the shade. Because like today, whenever I did my little run, it was at like 1 p.m. So it's 100 degrees outside. So trying to stay in the shade as much as I can. Get to the car, chug the carbs, water, and salt, and then run a little bit more. And it's been helping me recover so much. Lou says, Blake Corum failed so bad in the recent social media video. He's never seen the field. Yeah, if y'all didn't see, there was the Rams intern or whoever the hell it was, right? It went up to the players at camp and was like, hey, hold this phone and hit the stop on when you think 12 seconds have gone by. And like they showed Davante Adams at first, and Davante Adams, freaking wizard, paused it at like 11 minutes, 58 seconds. Then goes through player, and they're all like 11 minutes, 45 seconds. I'm sorry, 11 seconds, 0.45, right? You know what I mean? Like they're all within like 1 second, either too high or too low. Blake Corum gets up and he pauses at like 4 seconds. It's like, what the? That 4 seconds was 12. It's crazy. Chris says we need one more like. Hit that like button if y'all want us to do another giveaway for the free vouchers for Start, Sit, and Trade. Egg Buka 57. Okay, I will take Rice and maybe Rome. Yeah, we're going to take Rice and Rome. Probably wouldn't do it if it was in an underdog best ball draft, but here we don't want to fall behind at wide receiver. Feel pretty good about what we have at running back with Ginty and Kyron. And again, with these underdog best ball tournaments, they're absolutely massive. So what we want to be doing is we want to be optimizing for weeks 15 through 17. Rashee Rice going to be playing weeks 15 through 17. So taking him here, pick 60, will make it a little bit less likely we make it to the tournament, but a little more likely we win the tournament if we can get him there. But we hit 400 likes, so go down there and drop your flockfantasy.com username in the chat, and we will give away some free vouchers. Nico says, when are the week 1 rankings videos? Sorry if you answered this, just joined. I think the first week 1 rankings video is going to come out on Monday or Tuesday. Let me think. Come out Tuesday. Let me check my text with the editor. Because I sent him what I thought the rough schedule should be. First waiver wire. I'm sorry. First week 1 rankings video is going to come out on Tuesday. Isaiah Pacheco goes 70. And let's check out. Let's pick somebody random to get free question. We got Sam's Club. Let's see if I can find you. Sam's Club. Okay, do we really need an apostrophe between the M and the S? Is that what it is? Sam's Club. You log in with the freaking apostrophe, don't you? But I see you got the season pass, so you should already have some free vouchers in here, my friend. Let me go ahead and set you up with some more. Appreciate you always hanging out with me in the stream. Okay. Jordan Addison goes 72. Stephon Diggs, 73. I wanted to see how far Kamara was going to fall with us passing on him here again. Because, again, we got Kamara in the first draft at like 69. No, we got Kamara at 70 in the first draft. And then the second draft, Kamara fell to the middle of the 6th round as well. I mean, here he falls to 65, so he has been a faller across the board, even if not as much in this one as the other ones. Not going to lie to y'all, I've only been to Sam's Club once. I'm a Costco guy. I know. Double chunk chocolate chip cookie. Okay, Mr. Scroll says, Mason, is there a way to make slow mode even slower when you do the giveaway? People spam their name like 10 times. Be honest, I think from what I see, it seems like the people who can spam their names have the YouTube membership. I could be wrong. But the people that's like their names get spammed over and over and over again, if you go back and scroll, it looks like they're the ones with the YouTube membership. And I don't know if I can make it where they can't do that. I think that's just what YouTube does with the membership, where they're not affected by slow mode. Jordan Mason goes, Michael Pittman off. I think y'all probably know who I want. Mahomes goes. That's who I wanted. With him gone, I think we go Caleb and Hawk. We could go Shakir. Is Shakir almost good? Oh, Shakir started practicing a couple days ago. Hell, we'll go Shakir. Again, a big theme that I'm betting on this year are some of these offenses that are really good offenses but didn't have a lot of passing volume last season. What happens if they throw the ball more? That's the Chiefs. That's the Bills. That's the Eagles. So I'm trying to be overweight their pass catchers in the scenario in which the quarterback passing volume goes up. Raphael asking how many more BBMs. This is the last one. Looks like we're doing the $5 puppy drafts with y'all until the season gets here. I'm going to do one more $1,000 draft, but it's going to be a bunch of the $5 puppies. Okay, Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt goes 87. And JCM's extra interesting in this tournament. Like, you should be willing to take him a little bit earlier than you otherwise would. Because he's going to be so low owned in the overall contest. Like, so for when you get to the tournament specifically. Let's see. Cosmo says, do you do the in-season drafts? So there are a lot of like in-season tournament drafts Underdog does that are kind of more like DFS style. And I know a lot of people have a ton of fun with them. For me personally, I just simply can't do them because of my schedule during the year. Like during the year, it's pretty much all redraft for me, no DFS. But let's see, maybe one. And then also, I don't think I'm any good at them. Like, I'm never going to sit here and pretend that I'm the best guy ever at DFS. Like, I would have to spend a lot of time learning, which occasionally maybe I'll do some for fun, like off the live stream, but on the live stream, no, I'm just answering questions. Okay. Dobbins goes 102. So we got Zoom says, hey, Mason, get in my first best ball draft ever. Any tips to keep in mind? Big thing is going to be, since you don't have access to the waiver wire, you really need to make sure that your roster construction is correct. You need to draft 2 to 3 quarterbacks. You need to draft 2 to 3 tight ends. You need to take about 5 to 6 running backs. Sometimes you can take 7. Sometimes you can take 4. But if you take 4, it's like the instance where your first 4 picks are running backs. If you take 7, it's like, oh, I did not take a running back inside the first 7 rounds of my draft, right? Like super extreme instances like that. But most of the time you'll take 5 to 6, and the rest of your spots will be wide receivers. That's the main thing to keep in mind. We're going to take Justin Fields. I don't think he's any good at football, but I think he can run the ball a lot, which is good for fantasy. And then we go with Darnell Mooney, with Mooney being back at practice. Or we can go Caleb. We'll go Caleb. I think Caleb has some sneaky rushing upside. The Bears were 4th lowest in the NFL in total points scored last season. And they project to be dead average in the NFL with their implied team total this year at 16th. Seagulls. And Zoe, if you are just now joining Underdog, I know I showed this earlier, but 1, I hope you would use code FLOCK so you get all those bonuses, which I'm assuming you did. But 2, if you had gotten a season pass to the site, make sure you fill out that Google form. All you have to do is put your flockfantasy.com email in it and your Underdog username. And that way we can go ahead and we can just get an extra $10 added into your Underdog account. And again, if y'all haven't seen that, Google form is, so usually like all like the promos Underdog does that, like I announced, like, oh, you sign up with code FLOCK, your first $5 you spend, you get $50 added into your account. Obviously that's usually geared just to new people on Underdog Fantasy, but that setup that Underdog is doing for us, where if you have the 2025 season pass or you're an annual mother flocker on our site, it doesn't matter if you've been on Underdog for like 5 years. Go ahead and fill that Google form out and you'll get the free $10 added in your account. Okay, Drake May goes 115. So let me move this around. Person says, what's a normal point gap between the first team and the last team in the 12-team analyzer? I don't know that off the top of my head. It's definitely a lot closer right after your draft, and it's a lot further apart from each other as the year goes on and players get injured, and players bust, and players exceed to the upside. Let's see. Ramondre Stevenson goes 120. Someone asking how we feel about Shakir. I think Shakir's like a great like there are so many of these wide receivers that go in this range that like you may never hear me really talk about in videos, because the videos I make, I try to really make them where they can apply to people. Like the number one thing with the videos I make is they apply to people that are in like 12-team ESPN leagues where they start 2 wide receivers and 1 flex, right? Like a regular redraft league. And the fact of the matter is, a wide receiver like Christian Kirk, a wide receiver like Rashad Bateman, a wide receiver like Marvin Mims, it's probably never going to matter in a league like that. Because it's going to be impossible to predict when they're productive. The probability they turn into an every week starter is slim to none. And if you draft them as like your wide receiver 5 and they turn out to be like the wide receiver 35 in points per game, it just doesn't matter. Khalil Shakir almost falls into that same range, where Shakir's never going to turn into a top 12 wide receiver in points per game. So in like a regular like 10-team ESPN league, like Khalil Shakir doesn't matter. But here in these underdog drafts, it's completely different. You draft a wide receiver 5 on your team and he turns out to be a wide receiver 3 in points per game, I can help you win a tournament. And I think Shakir at cost, where I would expect that the Bills actually throw more passing touchdowns than have rushing touchdowns this next season, I think Shakir can exceed to the upside. David Njoku off the board. I'm going to take Mixon. I'm sorry. You can make fun of me for it. I'll take Braylon Allen over Brian Robinson. We don't have any quarterback stacks here. So we'll take Mixon and we'll just hope that he scores points in weeks 15 through 17. And then we are going to take Braylon Allen as well as our 5th running back. So again, I am willing to say, actually, here's why the Mixon pick was bad in reality. Is we have Rice and we have Caleb Johnson on the team. So we've already taken our 2 shots at guys that are going to lower our ability to get to the playoffs, but raise our ceiling in weeks 15 through 17. So even if Mixon's going the kind of back-to-back here in Dylan Sampson, you probably should just take Sampson over him. Alan says, how many hours of sleep do you average before versus during the season? This is a really good question because we were just talking about this past weekend, my girlfriend and me. In that, like, once the season is done, she thinks that she said she thinks I just get depressed, which I'm sure there's a part of it. Because it definitely messes with you mentally. Like, me live streaming for 220 days straight and like being on my computer, like doing a little live show until 2 a.m. in the morning every season, and then doing that and then going to nothing. It's a pretty big change mentally. But also, I think like during the year, I just fall so far behind on sleep. Because like this January, I was sleeping 10 hours a night. And I was working out a lot too. I was training for the 100-mile race. So maybe that had something to do with it. But I was sleeping 10 hours a night in January. If not, I don't want to say more than that, but like minimum 10 hours a night. Whereas last night I slept for maybe 5 hours. And the season's not even here yet. But yeah, during the off season, I sleep a ton. And realistically, I know it seems like I've just been complaining all stream. I promise you I'm not complaining. I clearly have the best job in the world. I know that. The only thing that I would change with it is like in thinking about how I could do this, because I know what I do now is not sustainable. I can't do this when I'm 40. And the reason why I'm willing to do it now is because I know, like, hey, if there's ever any time I can do it, is before I have kids in my 20s. But I think long term, what probably changes is I never want to stop doing these underdog drafts. These underdog draft streams, I would do these if I had to have a normal person job. I would still do these every single day. This is like legitimately the most fun thing I ever do. But what I would cut out is I think those live Q&As when I get older, I'm going to have a time that I cut them off by, where it's like, hey, once it hits midnight, I'm done. Like, or like, hey, I only answer questions for X amount of hours. We're going to take Leggett here for sure as one of our wide receivers. And then for other guy, I don't know. Actually, I'd rather have Hunter Henry than Britton Strange. I think the offense will be better. I don't think the wide receivers are too tough to go up against with the target share for Hunter Henry. And I mean, like, they don't have an alpha wide receiver there that I'd be super scared about. They don't even have like a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. I would be. Somebody says I'll have AI. I don't know. I don't know if people would want a little AI Mason on YouTube answering questions for them. I don't think they'd be happy about that. David says you'll sleep great in January after Nathan wins the Flock League and Domain shows its dominance. Okay, so I was thinking about this realistically, and I know I shouldn't admit this out loud to y'all, but with losing the Flock League this year, the punishment is you have to live stream. You have to be in a Denny's for 24 hours, right? And then every pancake you eat, take an hour off. Every 4 eggs you eat, take an hour off. Whatever it is, we'll come up with the exact things. But I was thinking about this today. It would be if I lost, and because I also agreed that if I lost, I would shave my head. It would be the best live stream of all time. If I was live streaming from a Denny's for 24 hours of fantasy football punishment, doing drafts, eating pancakes, getting my head shaved bald. It'd be such a good live stream and to be such good content that I'm like, honestly, if I lose, let it be. Let it be. And if Nathan wins, the only way that like Nathan winning would be phenomenal for the league is if like all the Judkins charges got dropped or like the investigation got dropped tomorrow and Quinshon Judkins turned into a top 12 running back and won Nathan the league. If that happened, it would be the best outcome possible. Like, it would be incredible. Also helped my underdog teams a considerable amount, so I wouldn't be too upset about that. So we'll see. Woody Marks goes 174. Isaac Tesla off the board. So we still need a quarterback. I mean, we don't need one, but I would like one. And we're done at running back. We can take another receiver if we want. What do we want to do here? Adam Thielen goes 178. Darnold doesn't stack anything for us. I think Torrey Horton's already gone. We could go Darnold and Elijah Arroyo. I think we kind of want to lock ourselves into Mason Taylor with this pick, considering that we have Fields. We could go Jonnu here and target Rodgers in the next round. We'll just take Sam Darnold. We'll play it safe. Let's take Darnold here as our QB3. Very reasonable price point. I think this helps our advance rate dramatically. And then we'll take Elijah Arroyo in the last round. But I think we are probably about ready to wrap this up. So, again, I know that this has been a longest stream. I really do appreciate you hanging out with me here. And y'all are going to hear me be super annoying about the Underdog promos over the next week. Because genuinely, it is the best week of promos for the entire year. So if there's ever a week for me to annoy the hell out of y'all about this, it is this one. Make sure you take advantage of them. Thursday, it's a free Saquon Barkley gimme pick. It's also a free 50% profit boost. It's not on all your pick'ems, but you get a token that you can use it on one of them. So definitely at least get one in with the token. Then Friday, you have another 50% profit boost. Saturday, you have a 100% profit boost token. And then you have additional ones dropping Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, which we don't know what they are yet. With this as well, we just posted that Google form on flockfantasy.com that if you have an Underdog account, which they're the only company I've been sponsored by and promoted for 4 years now. So if you've watched this for this long and you have not tossed your boy a bone and signed up with code FLOCK and made a $10 deposit on Underdog Fantasy, what the hell have you been doing for 4 years? Anyway, if you have an Underdog account and you got the 2025 flockfantasy.com season pass, go ahead and just put your flockfantasy.com email address here in this, your Underdog username here, submit the Google form, and then we are going to get you set up with an additional $10 free on your Underdog account. Plus, on top of that, this is on top of just the regular new user offer that they have, where if you use code FLOCK, after you play your first $5, you get another $50 added into your account. And I agreed for them to let us do some special pick'em packs this season. And we are doing our first one on Thursday, where they lowered the Dak passing yardage number for us for 229.5, where we need Barkley to have a touchdown, Pickens for fewer than 5 receptions, Dak to have 230 passing yards, and that'd be a 5x boosted pick'em pack. This is going to be the most annoying I am with Underdog promos all year, will be this week. I'm giving you a fair warning now, but it's because the giveaways that they've been doing this week specifically with all these promos will be the craziest. I always leave the link to join Underdog Fantasy, and you can get into one of those $5 drafts with us that we're going to be doing every night until the season starts as well. In the description, comment section, live chat, where it says draft with us here. And I think that's all I got for y'all. I'm going to go talk to the lady a bit. She goes to see the fam in the morning. So this will be my last time seeing her for about a week. And then we're going to be grinding away. Busiest week of the year for us. Most exciting week of the year for us. And as also the saddest week because drafts are about to end. But we're about to see what the Flock team's made of. So hopefully Barkley can come through. Hopefully Jacobs can come through. Really appreciate y'all. And really hope I get to see you out with the live stream tomorrow night.